Welcome to Science of Mind 101. We are technically in class 4, but we're just kind of going where the material takes us, and we'll get there when we get there. So we always begin with spiritual mind treatment. Take a deep breath and let it go. Please continue to breathe as we know that there is one infinite, absolute, self-existent cause, a presence and a power that is beyond all. This one creative flow of life, this one energy of life, this one absolute cause of all is individualized as itself in every point. And so I know that whatever it is I am, and whatever I am, it is. And so I open to my own magnificence. I open to my own spiritual state. I open to that infinite expression of Barbara. And in that connection, in that flow, in that knowing, I speak my word for and about this class. I know that we are blessed. I know that we take this information and we create lives that are better and better and better. I know that we are uplifted, we are inspired, we are connected, we are filled with love and joy, we prosper and we heal. Because that is the truth of us. And in the great gratitude and thanksgiving for all of the blessings that we have, for this amazing teaching, for the explosions in our brain as we get it, more than we've ever gotten it before, with great gratitude for Science of Mind 101, Center for Spiritual Living Asheville, Ernest Holmes, and everything else I can think of. I simply release this treatment into all that God is, because I know that God is all. And together we say, and so it is. Come on in, Chris and Pierce. Pierce, there's food in here. Chris's son. Okay, treatment celebrations from your treatment work. You had 2 weeks with your treatment partner. You've had a total of, I think, a month so far, having someone treat you and you treating someone else. What are your treatment celebrations? Shauna.
Let's see. So several Sundays ago, I think I was with Selena. And I just asked her to be in the new girl on the block at my job, just to give me solid ground and I have clients falling in my lap right now. So I signed my first contract today, albeit small, and then my boss said, we were working together on this job and while I'm learning this technology, and I said, so just to be clear, I'm just training on this, I'm not making any money. She goes, I don't make commission, why don't you take all of it?
Wow.
So I'm getting a $1,000 design fee plus making commission on a $30,000 job. So
Who else? Elise.
My boss told me I was going to get a raise without me asking for it. I don't know how much it is yet or anything, but it was just kind of out of the blue. So.
Yay, Elise. Who else? Jane.
I asked my partner to please speak for me for a clear mind, which is a huge job. But anyway, it worked because I suddenly am beginning to understand these treatments.
Who else? Pegatha and then Jack.
I asked Jack and my previous partner, who's Mary, who's not here at the moment, to hold the space of me having focus and to focus on the things that I really want to do for myself, my art and things like that. And it's happened. I've gotten 5 new paintings done, and I've gotten my stained glass project ready to assemble and put together, and I'm like so over the moon about that.
Wonderful.
Well, I asked Pegatha 2 or 3 weeks ago, I guess when it first started, to treat for me for my EFT class, that all the pieces would come together for the highest good of all concerned. And it looks like things are really coming together in almost magical ways. So thank you.
Yay, Jack. How many people were at your movie yesterday?
20-something, I think.
Wonderful,
It
wonderful.
was a good movie.
Yes, yes. Good for you. Lynn?
Well, I've been treating and I've had so much stuff happen that so much stuff happened. But a conclusion of what happened into the previous class was when when the cabin blew up, when it had the water leak. Well, I have another water leak, and it took me a little while to wrap my mind around it, but I will be getting the other side of the house that didn't get fixed. So it's like everything I say to the universe about like what I want done is just happening magically.
Of course it is. Yay, Lynn. Who else? Yes, Rhonda and then Ophia.
Yeah, so I remember the first time Kate and we treated with each other, and then I was in this place, but now I'm in this place as far as my our businesses that we're starting, our new ones, and I got a new logo. I got like 3 different quotes for somebody, a designer drew the logos. One was $800, and I got one on Fiverr.com for like $100, and it is so cool.
Yay.
So just feeling high.
Yay, Rhonda. Ophia.
I had a very trying weekend, and I just stuck to that it was gonna just gonna keep working through it, and part of it was a very frustrating conversation with a dear friend who is kind of the manager of a artistic group that I've been working with. He's usually very focused on being very Jesus-like and very inclusive. And we had a disagreement over the Me Too topic. And it was very painful because he was not his usual centered, compassionate, loving self, and was saying some really shocking, hurtful, triggering things. But I stayed calm, and I even said, I'm saying this because I'm sticking with this because he had excluded me from the group, from recording with the group anymore with him. But I told myself, this song's getting recorded anyway. And that same day that he turned me down, the Jewish rapper in the group actually recorded me and is finishing it up. And that's not even, so yesterday, I kept at it with this conversation because I knew he would come around. I was like, I know he knows this already. He's just settling into it. Like, he already knows it, and he's been coming to this point, and I saw the preview of his response, and it was another kind of ignorant thing, and I was like, no, I'm gonna walk away. And I left, and I went for a walk in the woods with my dog for like 2 hours, and just saying, like, I know that he already knows this. I know he's gonna come around. I know that we're gonna see eye to eye. And when I came back, his next message, the message, I was correct, it was, kind of whatever, but the next message 2.5 or an hour and a half later was, my goal is I want to put aside our differences. I want to learn how I can be an ally to the movement. I want to support you. I want to see I want you to tell me what I can do to continue to support your art and
That was him talking to you?
That was him talking.
Wonderful. And what was your treatment work for?
That we would see eye to eye, and he would see the Jesus perspective I was trying to get through. And
Okay, be careful about treating somebody else.
sure, yeah.
Yes, so.
But I was okay. I was saying that I was okay with what was happening, and it just kind of, I don't
Okay,
know.
only good can come from this. I'm always surrounded by people who love and support me. I use that one a lot. And those kinds of things about me. Fantastic work, Sophia. Yay. Who else? This is why we practice treatment, because it does stuff in our lives. I love the phrase that Joe Dispenza says, that if you really believe that you create your reality, you would never get out of bed without first creating your day. And so we do spiritual mind treatment work for ourselves and each other so that we are setting the law in motion and having our lives go in the direction that we want it to go. And I'm really proud of you for doing this. It's been 3 short weeks, actually, plus an off week. It's been a month, a short month, that you've been practicing this. And things happen when you do this, when you consciously grab hold of your thought and say, we're going in this direction, I don't care what's going on the outside, we are going in this direction, then things come into form that never might have come into form before. People show up, situations happen, so that you end up going in that direction. You're treating that you do well in your job, that you're prospering and all is well, and the person you work for says, well, I don't get commission, you get all of it. Those kinds of things, if you got up in the morning and went, rah, 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 that wouldn't have happened. So we are practicing steering our ship, we are practicing setting the course for our lives, and the more you practice it, the more things happen to where you're like Lynn, and she says, anytime I just think of anything, it happens. It's like magic.
That's wonderful.
So tonight we are going into hidden beliefs. Any other comments before we get started? Do you have any questions about your treatment work? You know, you can either keep your partner or you can switch partners. It's totally up to you. There's no big rules here. I just want you doing the treatment work. Pegatha.
I do have a question. When I start doing treatment and things, I find that I tend to I feel like I'm trying to convince myself, although it's what I believe, and I talk about what God is and how God created me and how I am God and all of these kind of things, and I just keep going and going and going to, then by the time I get to the part where I know something, I've gotten interrupted or sidetracked or something. And I'm like telling myself I should shorten that, but
What is interrupting you?
just thoughts. I'll just all of a sudden be going off in my thoughts and stuff,
Well, that's just practice.
and so
And it's okay to be convincing yourself. There are different kinds of treatment. One's called a realization treatment. God is, I am, and so it is. That's really all you need. But the other one, which most people hang out in, is called an argumentative treatment. I know that whatever God is all that there is. Oh, come on. You know that there's other forces at work. You don't even know what God is. How can you say that? No. I know that there's something that's beyond my ability to conceive of, that it was before the universe, that it's where all life comes from, and that is what I am now. Wait a minute, you've gone too far with that is what I am. You can't say that is what you are. Who in the world do you think you are? And so we go back and forth, and that's called an argumentative treatment. It's in the book. You'll run into it sooner or later. And so we do that because rather than saying, oh, I'm not holy enough because I can't just go there and lose our ability to grow and get clear, we look at it straight on and go, wait a minute, where did that come from? That sounds strangely like my mother's voice. You know, what's up with that anyway? What part of me, and we're going to get into some of that, what hidden belief inside of me is saying, I can't be magnificent, I can't be spiritual, I can't have what I want. And then we go and we treat that. We bring ourselves back. No, I'm not going to give in to that. I refuse to those are denials. We don't do that. So, so go back to knowing who you are and knowing the truth. And it's a matter of practice.
okay.
That's all. Just a matter of practice. I was going to say if you're doing it while you're driving it, in the car, or if somebody's calling, I mean, there are certain things you can do to avoid distractions, like not answer your phone, not keep your phone with you. You know, when you're doing your spiritual mind treatment, do it at such a time that maybe people aren't up in the house that you're in, or that they're not around so they don't bother you. And sometimes people set themselves up to be interrupted because there's a little self-sabotage going on. But if you do it long enough, you'll just wear that part of you down. Drew.
I used to think that in treatment that using the term universe was kind of improper until I realized the definition of universe. The one, either verse of song or poem, which is a singular vibratory energy, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, it's there, it's good.
Good, a singular vibratory energy, universe, wonderful. Some people say, well, the universe is in physical form, so it has limitation to it. Well, back in 1926 or 1918, when Ernest was formulating all of these ideas, the universe was about as big as he could go. So that's the word he used. Don't get hung up on the words, go for the experience. Okay? Jane.
What's interesting about the word universe is it starts UNI, which means one.
That's nice. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you. So tonight we're going to go on to hidden beliefs. When I studied science of mind, I did a lot of therapy during that process, and I think it's a good idea to look at yourself very clearly when you're dealing with thought patterns and belief systems and consciousness. You want to have as clear a tool as possible to use. And so if we are just, totally screwed up, then we're going to create screwed up experiences. And so it's important to look at ourselves and to get a handle, a little bit of a handle on what may be feeding our subconscious or our subjective self and giving us ideas that may not be for our highest and best. So I love this hidden belief assignment, and yes, I know that if you wrote it down, it's not hidden. I got all of that. I'm just calling it the hidden belief because it's something that we don't usually look at. It's not usually out front in our awareness. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take some of these beliefs, if they are not positive, happy, wonderful, joy-filled beliefs, and you can have positive, happy, wonderful, joy-filled hidden beliefs. But if you don't have those, then we want to look at how to flip them around with our treatment work to having a different experience. So I told you that you would not be required to share any of this, and that's true. However, if we want to have something to work on, I'm counting at least one person is going to come up with something that they discovered in their hidden belief assignment about beliefs still functioning from childhood. Let's start right off at childhood. Yes, Sarah.
So I have this hidden belief that came up spontaneously. I recognized it. Well, I didn't recognize it. My husband said, hey, that's not this thing that happened when you were a kid. And that is that if I don't give the right response, meaning the response that somebody's expecting, I will be severely punished.
Okay, let's look at that. So beliefs from childhood. If I'm myself, equals punishment. Who else? We're going to come back to that. Breezy.
Mine is the same for everything. I'm not good enough.
Not good enough. One more. Jane.
I always believed I didn't exist.
I don't exist.
Yeah.
So look at those. Are there similarities there? What are the similarities?
Low self-worth.
Low self-worth. What else?
Fear.
Fear. Fear based on what?
Not being what somebody else wants, being punished, all of the above. Not being able to be yourself, because that's a scary thing.
Right.
Rejection.
I don't exist, and I am not good enough. They all address the part of us that is not real. All the way to not existing, I'm not in this room, people don't see me, they don't talk to me, I'm not here, to where if I am myself, then something horrible is gonna happen, so I have to be someone else, because who I am isn't good enough. It's not good, period. What, Susan?
I was just gonna say, in growing up and growing and looking at my life, I dubbed it the one wrong word syndrome.
Yeah, if you make one wrong word,
Punish,
right.
cast out.
So I can't trust myself, I can't relax into myself, I can't be myself. Because me, myself, and I are wrong or bad or dangerous.
Yeah.
Rick?
I've noticed with that, my own experience, there's a state of confusion that comes in there too. Because you never really know what, I never knew.
Sure, you never know when disaster will strike. Which word was it that was wrong? I just won't talk. So, if we're gonna take a hidden belief that has us discounting our natural state so severely that we're gonna be punished and hurt deeply, we're not going to exist, and we are not good, which means we are bad, what do we want to flip that around to? Susan?
I'm safe.
I'm safe. What else?
I'm unlimited.
I'm unlimited. Jane?
I definitely do exist.
I exist. So I would recommend, when we look at beliefs from childhood, we use words that a child would understand. So I wouldn't go with the unlimited, because if it's, a little transactional analysis, you've got your parent, your adult, your child, you've got your critical parent, your nurturing parent, your okay child, your magical child, and your not okay child. So if this is coming from an internal dynamic of a not okay child, you're gonna have to speak to that part of your psyche in words that part of you understands. Not that you're gonna do baby talk, but let's not totally go over their head by using really big words. So if we have a belief that says, I am not good enough, what might we want to treat? We're gonna,
I am good.
I am.
that I am good enough. I am good. Let's just go good. I am good. I'm good. The punishment one is I am safe. I don't exist, that's an adult's idea. When you look through the eyes of the child, what might the child want to affirm?
I'm visible.
I'm seen.
I'm lovable.
I'm valuable.
I matter.
Too big of words.
I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm real.
I'm here. I'm real. How about I'm real?
That's good.
So, if we're doing a treatment, and I don't want to get heavy into therapy here, I know enough to dismantle every one of you, and I don't want to go there. If we're going to do a spiritual mind treatment that's about I'm safe, what would that sound like? Where would you start on the safety? Which step?
The beginning.
One. Step one. And what might a spiritual mind treatment step one about safety sound like?
God is safety, life is safety.
God is,
I am always safe.
God is protecting and
I'm always safe is in the third thing. So what is the first step?
God is in.
Whatever God is. Remember last week we talked about really stretching those out, and Pekatha, you did a really good job at stretching that first step out. So whatever spirit is, whatever the universe is, whatever life is, it's all that there is. And in that allness must also be safety. So this is a safe universe that I live in. This is a safe world that I live in. Safety is everywhere. You could even go to some ideas about, I know that I'm always protected, I know that I'm always loved, I know that I'm always held in the arms of love. I'm living in the heart of God. You know, we sing those songs for a reason, so that we will instill the idea of safety. And then what would the second step be in a treatment that was eventually going to be specifically for safety? Second step is,
I know.
I am.
I am safe, I am.
I am held in the arms of the divine.
Okay, that's the third step. That's an action step. So the second step would be a beingness step. What did you say, Lynn?
I'm safe, I'm protected.
That's the third step. I'm
God is
created.
safety.
Pardon me?
If God is safety, then I know that I am safety.
I am made out of safety. The essence of me is created out of the safety of the universe. That there's nothing outside of God. So there's nothing that could harm me. Those are denials, I'm not going there. There's only safety. So I'm created out of safety itself. It's in the very essence of my being. It's in the tissues of my body. It's in every breath that I breathe. It is what I am. And then go to the third step, which is,
I'm held in the arms of the divine.
I am held in the arms of the divine. And Lynn?
I'm safe.
I am safe. Kate? I am safe. Right here and right now, I am safe. Because all that there is safety. I am held in the arms of the divine. I'm held in the arms of love. All is well in my world. And sit with that for a little while. You may find that you start to cry because maybe nobody told you that you were safe. Maybe you never had that experience where you could really just relax into this idea that in the infinite presence of love, safety is a given. And you must be safe. Regardless of what stories you have about the past, you are safe. It's
bugs.
since we started composting, we have a higher level of bugs in the air. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe right here and right now. Everybody around me is safe. I live in a safe world. You know, and just go with that. And then what would the fourth step? What is the fourth step?
Gratitude.
Gratitude. So what are you grateful for?
Being safe.
You're grateful for being safe. You're grateful for your safety. You're grateful that you're safe. Yes, it's not complicated. We're going down to something that possibly doesn't serve you. If you have a belief that flares up sometime, that if I'm myself, I'm gonna get punished. You know, if I use my outdoor voice inside, something horrible is gonna happen. If I make one wrong move, something horrible is gonna happen. That I'm basically not good enough for anything. And that I don't even exist. This facade that I have, that's what the world sees. Nobody knows the real me, because I put that away so far that nobody can get there, because nobody's gonna hurt me again. See, if those come up like in relationships, in marriages, in business deals, just in going down the road, going to Ingles or Earth Fair or Whole Foods or whatever, if those things come up, then they can trip up your manifestation of the day, the week, the year, the life. So we want to address those. We want to address those, and you know, we're creating clarity for Jane. This, you can do anything. You can do anything. Treat yourself to know that you're safe. Treat yourself to be safe. Treat yourself to have a safe life. Treat yourself to be surrounded by people that you're safe with. And that way, the energy starts to switch. And remember, this is so important to me, you do not have to be completely healthy to demonstrate a great life. You don't have to be enlightened. You don't have to have released all of your neurosis. I know some pretty screwed up people that know how to demonstrate a great life, because it's not anything more than going from 50 to 51. That's all you have to do, is tip those scales a little bit, and then the plane starts to turn. Your life starts to turn. Things start to change. So you're not having to go in there and primal scream it out, or go into therapy for a decade. You're not having to totally forgive all the people that did you, whatever it is they did you. You don't have to do that. What you have to do is start tipping the level of your consciousness a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And I guarantee you that if you're going through life thinking that if you're yourself, you're gonna get punished, that you're not good enough, and that you don't exist, and you start treating yourself for those things, you're gonna have this wave of feeling good. You're gonna be so relieved. You're gonna have extra energy. You're gonna have clearer thoughts. You're gonna be happier. You're gonna have endorphins and enkephalins and all of these things released in you, all because you spent 20 minutes treating yourself, your emotional state, before your day started. It has the most amazing benefits. And don't beat yourself up with some idealized image of how advanced you're supposed to be before you get what you want. That's hogwash. You don't have to do that. That's simply another neurotic pattern that I don't get what I want unless I've done everything. You know, the classic adult child of an alcoholic. You've got to be twice as good as everybody else to feel half as worthy. No, don't do that. Tip the scales just a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yes. No, it's, I was walking home and a great something told me to turn around. Here was this gigantic bear. He was about 20 feet from me, and so I just went with it. I just felt protected. And what I did is look and see if any neighbors were in, and I found one with some cars in the driveway, and I walked up and a woman came out. I said, "Could you please drive me back to my house?
There's a bear out here."
Yeah, and I said, "There's a big bear," and she looked and she said, "Oh, there really is."
So this is good because Jane had the wherewithal to listen to her intuition. We all have intuition. And to look around and to avert a lack of safety, then make a wonderful connection with a neighbor and to be safe the whole time. So we carry our safety with us. We carry our safety with us. Drew.
I quite like that beginning step, realizing the inherent quality of safety and whatever initially in the first step of, instead of a second thought or add-on.
Bring your theme of what you're treating for all the way through the treatment.
Yeah.
Start with the first step. Otherwise, you're just doing a generic treatment and popping in an affirmation, and it's not as effective at all. Start with what it is you are treating and weave that in step 1. And then weave it in step 2, and then by the time you get to step 3, it's easy because you're right there already. And then don't just abandon it, bring it into your gratitude, and then release it to the safety of all that is in step 5. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. What's the next one?
Some of the beliefs I have about my career are.
Career. Well, we go from childhood to career awfully fast.
They both start with C.
So, what beliefs did you have about career?
Not smart enough. Not smart enough.
Not smart enough.
Can it be
Susan.
positive?
Sure.
I'm really good at what I do.
So am I. Who had their hand up over here? Troy.
I felt that I didn't fit the mold or the stereotype for the position I held, and I was kind of out of the mold a little bit.
I don't fit.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else? One more.
Can't make money doing that.
I'm sorry, did you give me one of the other ones? No, okay. Can't make money. Okay, well, let's look at these. If you ever have any doubt that you're good at what you do, and you have a belief that says, I'm really good at what I do, treating this is very easy. Like if Susan has a client that cancels at the last minute, or the venue falls through, or something like that, you can immediately go back into, I'm really good at what I do. I can handle this, I know how to do this, I use that a lot. I am good at what I do, and when things look like they're not working out, I can rest on that I'm good at what I do, I've worked through things before, I'll work through this again, everything is gonna work out. So it's not that you don't take positive ones, it's just usually it's not the positive ones tripping us up in life, it's the negative ones. So here we have, I'm not smart enough, I don't fit, and I can't make money at this. What would you want to treat?
I am Selena, and I can make money doing what I love.
I am smart.
Yes.
Let's leave it at that. I am smart. What about another one?
I can make money.
Well, what do you want money
I
for?
have, oh, freedom.
Survival.
Let Pegatha answer.
Well, what it is I want to make a living doing what I love rather than what everybody else thinks I should do.
And if you had enough money, would you care whether you got paid for what you do?
No.
So, secondary causation. I need to make money at this, so I'll have enough money to live the life I want to live. So let's not deal with secondary causation. Let's go to first cause and treat what, Pegatha?
That I want to live the way I want to live.
Do you want to treat to want?
No.
Do you want to want forever?
So, no. How do we take that word want out of our
Take the
lives?
word out and say the sentence again.
I live the way I live.
I live the way I,
You should not say one.
I know.
Well,
She meant the first one.
your
not
first
the second
one.
I am living my dreams.
I am living
That's right. What? A little pressure there, right?
I'm living my dreams. You may want to think a little bit about who told you you can't make money doing what you want to do. That you have to do what you don't want to do to get by. And see if there's not some other little healing you could spring off onto. How about I don't fit? What would you want to treat for that? Troy, since it's yours.
I don't fit, but I am great at what I do, and being different is my, it makes me stand out.
I am great at what I do.
In the unique way I do it.
Yeah, my uniqueness is an asset.
It's no strength.
My mom's raised with celebrate your weirdness.
Being different.
I know, right? Don't tell her I said that.
Oh, I don't know your mom.
Yeah, no.
Is she in the center?
No,
Oh, okay.
but,
It's an asset.
got me.
Is my
What's
strength.
going on? Being different makes me, there is an answer.
Cool.
Okay, that's less letters. Now you can have bigger words if you're dealing with an older part of you. You wouldn't want to tell a 4-year-old subconscious self, psychological dynamics inside, that it's an asset, because a 4-year-old doesn't know what an asset is. But a career person knows what an asset is. So think about what you're treating and think about the words that you use so that you're talking in a direct connection with the part of you that you want to treat. And what about, I am smart. We got it. I'm smart. I'm smart. What would step one of spiritual mind treatment be for a treatment on being smart?
The universe has unlimited intelligence.
The universe is unlimited intelligence. What else?
God is brilliance.
God is brilliance. Yes. And what would step two be on a treatment for being smart?
If God is brilliant, then I am brilliant.
If God is brilliant, then I am brilliant. What else? Keep the ideas flowing. I don't want you people stuck in a rut of your treatments.
I am one with universal intelligence.
I am one with universal intelligence. Universal intelligence thinks through me. Universal intelligence flows through me. Universal intelligence is me. Every cell in my body is intelligent. Do you get that? Then what would be the third step of a treatment for being smart?
I have all the knowledge that I need for anything I plan to do.
I have all the knowledge that I need for anything that I plan to do. What else?
I am universal intelligence.
I am universal intelligence. What else?
Wisdom is mine.
God's wisdom is mine. Let's take it right to the hidden belief. What is the simplest thing you can put in that third step?
I know, I am smart.
I am smart. I am smart. I know I'm smart. And you're not going to limit it to that, but you should have that phrase in there. Since that's your belief, you should directly, hit it on directly, challenge that. I'm not dumb, I'm smart. Oh no, we're not doing denials. I'm smart. I am the infinite creative intelligence of all life. Every thought that has ever been thought is mine now. I have access to everything that was ever conceived of, everything that ever will be thought, everything that has ever been thought. I have that inside of me. I'm made out of it. It is what I am. Work it, baby. Work it until that part of you that thought you were stupid goes, okay. You get that feeling, okay, I am smart. I'm smart. And then what is your fourth step? Gratitude for what?
For being
Smart. I'm smart. Exactly. You unleash these urges of energy when you go after that, because all your life you've been holding on to, I'm not smart enough, I'm not smart enough, and it's constrictive and it's stagnant. And once you blast that out, boom, you get all of this energy, and it's joy-filled, and you laugh, and maybe you cry, but it's all a movement of energy. I'm so grateful that I'm smart. I'm so grateful that all that I am is wisdom and intelligence and guidance, and I've got all of that. Just go for it. Whatever your words are, go for it. But if your words were, I'm not smart enough, try to have something in your treatment that directly addresses that. If it's I don't fit, have something in there. I do fit, and more than that, my difference is amazing. My ability and the way that I fit is perfect for me. And it opens up doors, and it lifts me up, and I love being who I am, that kind of thing. Or I can't make money. I have all the money that I need. I live the life of my dreams, and money is filling my experience, or fills my experience. Does that make sense? Yeah. Good. Do you see what we're doing? We're poking around inside of ourselves and looking for whatever comes up, and whatever comes up for you is yours to deal with. It's not good or bad or right or wrong, and if you do this in 6 months, you may have different stuff come up. But whatever popped in your head, that's what's ready for you to treat and heal and change. Okay, what's the next one?
Relationships.
Ooh, baby. Relationships. What hidden beliefs do you have about relationships? Maybe
Can't
not
trust
so
anyone.
hidden. Pardon me?
Can't trust anyone.
Can't trust anyone. Great, what else?
I'm too emotional.
I'm too emotional. I'm too old to have relationships. Well, you're not too old to have relationships because you have a room full of relationships, but we're gonna go with Kate because you already did one. I don't make friends easily, right?
That's what I said.
Okay. Wonderful. Now, how would we want to flip those around through the use of our handy-dandy tool of spiritual mind treatment? Well, let's start off with trust. Everybody breathe.
My trust is unlimited.
My trust is unlimited.
I was just gonna say, trust God, God is trustworthy.
I'm done with that one.
Who said, I don't trust anybody?
Pierce.
Pierce.
Yeah.
Where would you want to be if you didn't have that? Why do you
Have
think
people in my life I can trust?
to have people in your life that you can trust?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
okay,
need to.
so let's start with that. His words. I have people I can trust. One day I'm gonna have a keyboard and just type and it's gonna show up there. I'm gonna have to print. I have people I can trust. Wonderful. I have an affirmation that I've used for years. I'm surrounded by people that love and support me. Yeah, I use that all the time. And when some people say, well, what happened to so-and-so? I said, some people bless us by coming and some by leaving. I am surrounded by people who love and support me. It's a wonderful affirmation. It helps me to feel completely comfortable with whoever's in my life because they've got to love and support me because that's my treatment, which means I can trust them. I mean, John would have a whole thing about trust. We're using it in the vein of I'm safe with you. Because I teased you with that, I should tell you. John would say that you can trust someone to be true to their nature. So if you know someone as a thief, then you can trust them to continue to be a thief. Because they're going to be true to their nature. If you know someone who lies, you can trust them to lie to you. Because they're going to be true to your nature. And that takes a lot of the emotional personalness out of it. That's who they are. That's what they do. I'm okay with that. I just am going to have my eyes wide open. But what you're saying, I think, is I'm safe with these people. Is that right? Good. Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. So what about I'm too emotional?
My emotions are my guides.
My emotions are my guides. What would you say, Rhonda, since that's your thing? Oh, Ophia? Ophia, what would you say to that?
My emotions teach me things.
Okay, since you had I am, I'd like to keep it at the I am. You're picking up on Pegatha's my emotions. So let's stick it with the same. I want to get a vibrational match here. So I want to go as closely as possible to what the belief was, which is I'm too emotional. So what would a positive aspect of that be? What is the truth of you?
I'm emotional.
Are you emotional?
So maybe probably as much as I am logical.
She said she said she would say she is as emotional as much as she is logical. Who told you you were too emotional?
Lots of people.
Lots of people. So, it's that same thing with I'm too much for people. I'm too emotional for people. And if you weren't too much, and if you weren't too, what would you be?
Perfect.
I was gonna say I'm not too much for people, but that's not.
Well, but let's start there. I'm not too much for people. I am, I'm enough. Okay, we'll start with that, and if it changes, then change it. But those are the words that came up for you. Do you see how difficult this is? How many times did you just sit there and go blank? That's what happens. It's a psychological defense mechanism. We go blank because we don't want to look at it. It's risky not to be secure, and I'm too emotional. There's something wrong with me. I've got to hold myself back. I'm not going to put myself out there because something horrible is going to happen. And so what we do when pushy teacher Barbara asks us what the flip of it is we just go blank. It's just a normal psychological defense mechanism. But the truth is that you are enough. You are enough. So it would be, I am enough. Because this goes back to the same thing about when I am myself, something awful happens. And so this one is just cloaked in, oh, you're too emotional. It's the same thing as there's something wrong with you. Would you stop being yourself? And would you just shut up and become invisible so we don't have to deal with you and be who we want you to be? No. The answer to that is no. Everybody say that. No. Good. How about I don't make friends easily? What are you going to treat?
I make friends easily and effortlessly.
I make friends easily and effortlessly.
I do now.
Yes, you do.
Didn't used to.
I'm just going to have easily. I don't like the word effort and effortlessly.
Okay.
So, after you make them, are they moving away? Are they just ships passing in the night and you made a friend with them?
Some stay, some move on.
What do you want?
I want friends who become part of my life.
So instead of I make friends, what might you change that to? I have friends. Look at what a little word does. Instead of I make friends, I have friends. I have friends. I have lots of friends. I have good close friends. I love my friends. My friends love me. I'm surrounded by people who love me and support me because I'm enough. You just weave it in there and go for it and watch how it changes you. Who had their hand up? Great, we have time for one more. Are you this is, I tell you, this is good stuff. This is better than a therapist's couch.
Oh, yeah.
Because finding out how screwed up you are doesn't help. When you change that, and when you take an active role in the healing of your unconscious, you have got power going on. I have people I can trust. I am enough. I make friends easily. That's a way better life than I can't trust anyone. I'm too emotional. I don't make any friends. You don't want that life. You want the one that you flipped to. So what's the next?
Body and health.
Ah, good. Let's save sex for next week. Don't they have sex in there? Do I
Yeah,
just put it-
that's number 9. Number 9.
What hidden, the people who haven't done it yet, what hidden beliefs do you have about your body and health? And they don't have to be connected. One can just be about your body, and one can be about health.
I think I've done.
Rhonda?
I'm fat.
Okay, I'm fat. Who else? Chris, and then Shauna.
So I have a saying that rattles through my head. It came from the church I belong to. Bodily training is beneficial for a little. That, yeah.
I don't understand.
Right. So like exercising and stuff is not beneficial as opposed to focusing on
Nutrition.
what they tell you they need to focus on.
So give it to me in your words. What is your hidden belief about your body?
It doesn't do me any good to exercise
Because what?
because
Don't get
my
too-
focus should be on, God and what he's supposed to, what he wants me to do from that Christian perspective. Yeah.
Right, so to just hone it in a little bit, then, my body is not important,
Yeah, secondary,
my body is secondary.
yeah,
Was that your words?
just now, yeah,
Do they feel right?
yeah.
My body is secondary. Okay. My body is secondary. Shauna.
Mine is, I'm not as strong or resilient as I used to be.
Could you just shorten that into something? No, because I think the something would be more impactful.
It has something to do with belief in aging, which I've always rejected. I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Do I?
Yeah. Go ahead, let it be a belief in aging that you would like to reject. But how would that translate into a much shorter sentence?
I'm not as strong as I used to be. Or
Where's aging in that?
just the passage of time. Used to be stronger, more athletic.
When you were,
Like 3 years ago.
when I was younger.
I was stronger when I was younger.
I was stronger when I was younger, and that means that today,
I am weak.
ooh, okay, I didn't know we were going there. When you use big, long words, therapist Barbara says you are playing cat and mouse with me, trying to hide behind all of these syllabic concepts. And when you go, I am weak, that's it. So that's where I want to go, because that's what I want to heal. So let's start with I am weak. Where do we want to flip it to?
I am strong.
I am strong.
Strong for my age.
I am strong. I am strong. Haven't you ever heard those stories about the little old lady that picks a whole car up off of somebody? I am strong. I have inherent strength in me. I'm tougher than I know. I'm stronger than I know. What else? How about I am fat? What do you want to flip that to?
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful. I always marvel, I laugh at our culture. It wasn't very long ago that skinny people were looked down on, and big people were the ones who didn't have to labor in the fields, so they could put some weight on. Mothers who nursed babies needed to have some weight on. It was a good thing. People who toiled outside and had suntans were looked down on as the peasants and the poor crew. And people who had pasty white skin were looked at as, oh, these are the wealthy people, they don't have to go outside. And now it's flipped, and we all just buy into it. and go, oh, that's how I'm supposed to look yet now. You are supposed to look the way you look, living the life that you want to live, period, end of story, without any outside 12-year-old airbrushed model trying to tell us what we're supposed to look like. Good God. How about my body is secondary? Chris, Topher.
My body is a temple.
I like that. My body is a temple. And as you are doing your treatment work, if the words start to change, that's fine. That's a natural unfoldment of it. Either you've healed what you thought you were working at, or you've gotten to something deeper. So let the words shift if they do. So what is a treatment for I'm fat, starting with step 1? I mean, for treatment for I am beautiful, starting with step 1.
God is beauty.
God is beauty. Step 2.
I am beauty.
I am beauty. Step 3.
I know I am beautiful.
I am beautiful. Step 4.
I am grateful to be beautiful.
I'm grateful for I'm for the beauty that I am. Step 5. Into the beauty that is, and you can elaborate on that quite a bit. Quite a bit. I would think in the first and second steps, I would picture beauty of whatever that means to me. Whether it's landscape scenes or space nebula, or whether it's a flower or whatever is beautiful to you, really get that the entire universe is created out of beauty, and that's what you are. And you are beautiful just the way you are. That was Louise Hay's main affirmation that cured thousands and thousands and thousands of people from incurable diseases, starting off with people with AIDS. I love myself just the way I am. Because when we think that there's something wrong with us, and we think we have to change it, it makes us sick. When we let ourselves out just the way we are, then there's a flow of energy, of health and wholeness and life. And we get that experience of unleashing that. So move into elaborating on, I am beautiful. I'm beautiful. And I would recommend anybody who has body issues to put a full-length mirror up in their bathroom so that every time you get out of the tub or shower buck naked, take a look. I'm beautiful. I'm looking good. Sweet. Whatever it is. Because this neurotic thing that we have of turning against our bodies kills us. And what about I am strong? Yes. Sean. Oh, you did I am strong. Let's do the treatment for I am strong. Step 1.
God is strong.
Give me bigger words, bigger sentences.
The universe is unlimited.
The universe is unlimited. The spirit is powerful. The power of life. Holy moly, take it to the second step. I have that power. When I was the minister in Miami, I used to pull my little folding chair out into the breezeway every summer afternoon at 3 and watch the storms come in. And it would lightning, and it would sizzle, and it would pour, and I would go, yes, that's me. That's what I am. And then you do the third step is what? Thank you, Jane, for keeping me on track. I am strong. I am created out of strength and power. I am infinite. I am bigger than anything. I can handle anything. Work it and give it to yourself. And then the fourth step is what? I'm grateful for all this strength and power that I am. I love it. And the fifth step.
I release the power into the universe.
I release this treatment into the power that is. Yes.
Creative energy of everything.
the creative energy of everything. I release my word. I fling this treatment out into the power and creative energy and the strength of all that is. Do you see how that gets into you? It's got to be your words, but don't be afraid to work it up and to give yourself something. It'll be a vibrational match to that neurotic thing, and go in there and just like roto-rooter it out. So we're going to take a break, and you're going to find your treatment partner. What, Breezy?
Body is a temple?
Did we not do my body as a temple?
No.
Oh my goodness, sit back down. Spiritual mind treatment for my body is a temple.
God is love, God is power, God is all that is, God is me.
God is love, God is power, God is all that there is, God is me. What else, Chris? Topher.
Yeah. God is all the beauty that's around me, and yeah.
So whatever God is all of this beauty and all of this wonderfulness. And fill in the words. And then the second step would be,
I am living in this temple.
that's the third step.
So if God is all important, then everything that I am is all important.
If God is all important, then everything that I am is all important, because I am God as me, important. And then you go to the third step. Talk specifically about your body.
Oh, please.
I find it most effective to get the person who had the belief to reshift it. What would a third step be?
My body is a temple.
My body's a temple, but did you see how his words changed? That's why I say, let your words change. Because really, what he wants to say is my body is important. My body is important. My body is royal. My body is magnificent. My body is glorious. My body is this amazing expression of chemicals and life and movement and digestion and breath. My body rocks. My body is beautiful. My body is amazing. And then the fourth step.
Grateful for this.
I am grateful for this rockin' hot body.
Yeah.
You're a sick beast.
And the fifth step.
I am all that I am.
I am. And the fifth step.
Fling it into the universe.
I let this go, this treatment go, this thought go, this idea go into the body of God that is all.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. Yes. And so you've got that feeling. You see how you're laughing? You're red, but you're laughing. You're releasing. like that, you released all this energy, because that's a healing. Yeah. I love you guys. We're going to take a break, find your treatment partner, and we'll come back when you're done. Here we go. So come on back. Everybody's done with their treatment work. How was it? Awesome. Great.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. You guys are in a practitioner class, I want you to know. This is a first year practitioner class. You've been in it for a month and you're doing great. People in this very room didn't know what a treatment was a month ago. And now you're working with each other, you're treating for each other, and you're demonstrating. This is good stuff. Do you have any questions? Comments? Comment.
Sarah asked for treatment so that she could speak clearly. I did the treatment first. She did the most amazing treatment. So I said, well, you already reached your goal.
Wonderful. Treatment request to speak clearly, and the treatment that was given was just perfect. by the person who had been treated, so yay. You can use this for anything, and you know, people think that it's only about creating money or cars or houses or things like that, but really the internal qualities, I think, are where you get the value. The sense of clarity, the sense of safety, the sense of wisdom, of being able to bring yourself forward in a clear way. That's the good stuff. Jane.
It blows my mind, I've just realized this the last two times, which is that 4 of those steps are really you're treating for yourself.
Exactly.
The only step that where you even mention the person you're treating for is the 3rd step.
Right.
I know.
So-and-so, I.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the 3rd step is I know for so-and-so.
Right. Speak my word for and about so-and-so.
Wow. And then
That's
the
why
rest
the
is
practitioner
yourself.
treats the practitioner. The practitioner treats the practitioner. It's all happening inside of you until you zoom out that laser beam of consciousness and touch somebody else's life.
That is so interesting.
Who else? Questions or comments? You're doing a great job. Do you feel how the energy in the room shifts? Yes. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Very exciting.
Wonderful. So we're going to finish the hidden beliefs and the reading assignment next week. So really, if you've done your homework, there's no more homework this week, other than do your treatment work for yourself and your partner, because really that's what it's about. All of the reading and the lecture and all of that is just to get you to understand that, but I don't really care if you do the steps in order. I don't really care if you do it like somebody says. I don't care. The words are supposed to take you where you need to go to get you there, wherever there is in that knowing. And however you do that, I don't care. Just get there. Yeah. Anything else? Take out what you're going to give, and I'm going to talk to our people watching online. I know there are a lot of you taking this Science of Mind 101 class online, and I would like to give you the opportunity to be a part of the support of this center by clicking on the donate button on your YouTube page, and that will take you to our PayPal account. If you're taking the class online, then you want to write me a little note. That's great, I'll answer it. And remember that the workbook that everyone is working out of is on our website, not on the YouTube channel, but on our website under classes. It's just as Science Mind 101 workbook. You can click it and download it, and then you know what in the world we're talking about. Okay. And so what I know, and what I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that there is something. It is energy and vibration. It is movement and creativity. It feels like love. It lifts me. And somehow it is what I am. And so knowing that I am an individualized expression of the divine, that all that I am, God is, and all that God is, I am. I speak my word for and about every member of this class, whether they are in this room or whether they are somewhere else. There is only the here and only the now. And so I know for each and every one of us that we are clear. We are guided by divine wisdom, that we speak the words that are ours to speak, that we are us. We cast aside any idea of being someone else, and we are that amazing, magnificent spiritual being that has incarnated on planet Earth. We let our God self shine. And I know that each one of us is blessed by the time that we spend together, that our lives get better and better and better, that all is well in our world. And with great gratitude for these principles of science of mind, for these tools that we can use to direct spiritual law in creating amazing lives, lives of our dreams. With great gratitude to everyone who has walked this path before us. I simply release this treatment into the mind of God, the body of God, and all of God, because I know that God is all, as together we say, and so it is. Just breathe it in, breathe it in. We are creating. We are assembling molecules, and we are manifesting blessings in our lives, so breathe that in. We are as clear and as strong and as powerful as the clearest and the strongest and the most powerful among us. If anyone has ever done it, of course we can do it. And if no one has done it yet, then it's ours to do. We live in the possibilities and the love of life. And so I know that everything in these baskets is blessed, that we are blessed through our giving. We set spiritual law in motion, and we accept all that life brings back to us. I know that each one of us comes together this night to make this Center for Spiritual Living Asheville all that it was ever meant to be. It is a place of peace, a beacon of light, a tower of strength, and a fountain of wisdom that touches the lives of all who call it home. And so it is. Thank you for helping